Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. Now on my last video, I made these two cute coasters and these coasters came from Cricut. Now of course they sell them as a complement to their infusible ink or their ink pens, but I used sublimation paper, sublimation ink, a couple of images from Creative Fabrica, and then I pressed them in my heat press and this was the result. So I'm super happy with them. Now, a long time ago on my channel, I actually made something that I'm going to make tonight. And I'm going to make a coaster for my coaster. Now, the reason is, with these hard surface coasters, sometimes your liquid will pool and it'll go over onto your table or whatever your coaster's on. That kind of defeats the purpose of having a coaster. So what I did before is I made something that was a little bit larger out of cork, and I have that under my coaster. So today I'm going to use my Glowforge. You could also use a diode laser to do this, but I need to get this done quickly because I need to get it in the mail in just a few days. This is all part of something I'm going to send to my daughter for Valentine's Day. So the first thing I'm going to do is jump on the computer, show you my design, show you it being cut and engraved in the Glowforge, then I'll show you the end product. Now here's the design that I'm going to use to engrave on and cut out of the cork. Basically what I did is I took a 3.5 inch circle, that's the size of my coaster. I decided how big I wanted this to be. I ended up going with 4.75. Let me go ahead and check that. Yes, 4.75 in diameter. That gives you enough room outside the hard coaster to see all these little cat faces. Now I got the cat faces off of this file from Creative Fabrica. And basically I just used the face from this cat. Then I distributed them equally around the circle and I'm ready to go. So now what I want to do is go ahead and open my Glowforge software. I'll say create new design, upload file. Then I'm going to go find the file and bring it in. Now that I've found the file, I'll go ahead and click on upload, and then it's going to take just a minute to get it into the Glowforge software. Now the Glowforge software does have a design feature as well, but it's a monthly membership. I don't pay for that. I make everything that I'm going to use in my Glowforge on other software. And typically that's Inkscape because it's a free design software. Okay, so now that it's on the screen, and you can't really see the bed of my Glowforge yet because my Glowforge is off because it's loud. So let me go ahead and do a few things before I turn it on. Now with this selected, I'm going to go up to unknown. It's asking me what I'm going to use. And for this, I'm going to say I'm using uncertified material because this is not a Glowforge material. Now the thickness of this that I measured with my calipers is 0.19. So I'll put that in there and hit submit. Now I have two things I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to cut around the outside of the circle. And I have to add my settings. So I come down here to manual, click on it, and to cut it, I want a speed of 200 and full power. And I just know these settings from working with this material before. So if you're new to it, do a bunch of test cuts, test engraves, see what works for you. It's a little bit of trial and error. All right, so then here's the layer with the cat faces. So I'll click on Inner Settings. Now on that one, I want to engrave it. So I click on Engrave. Notice they turned blue to engrave. Click on Manual again. And for the engraving on this, I'm going to use a speed of 700 and a power of 50. Now this lines per inch, that's kind of like resolution of a picture. This doesn't have a lot of detail, so the standard 225 is fine. Also, I'm going to go ahead and keep this on auto height. That way I use the camera in there and the machine to determine exactly the height of where it'll cut and where it'll engrave. All right, so I need to turn it on so we can see how long this will take. Now you can see that the camera's on. It's trying to figure out if there's anything on the bed, what's on the bed. It's just doing its thing. So now I went ahead and I put the material inside there. Let me go ahead and click on it so you can see it. This is my cork, and then I have a paper masking tape down here. The line you see drawn across there is something I drew to know where not to go past. So let me put this down in place. And I want 2 of those, so I'm going to hit Command-C for copy, Command-V for paste. And I'll just move it over here. Then the last thing I want to do is, I want the cut to be done second. I want the engrave first, the cut second. It does it in the order it sees it here. So what's on top is going to happen first. So I can just click on this, drag it up. Now my engrave will happen before my cut. Now I didn't show you this masking paper before. When I go back over to my table, I'll just show you what the roll looks like. But it does help to keep the top of whatever you're doing from getting singe marks and burn marks. To me, it just makes a better product. All right, so let me hit print. Even though it's not printing anything, it's called print. Now you can see this is going to take quite a long time because of all that engraving. If all I was doing was cutting out 2 pieces of cork, this would be done in less than a minute. But these are hopefully going to be cute and well worth it, so that's what I'll do. Now I know you don't want to watch 35 minutes of this, so I have this sped way up. You can see the little cat faces there. The thing it does first is it engraves. And then after that, it's going to go around and cut the outside. So when I looked at these, I just wasn't really happy with the engrave, so I took the paper off. I was sure not to move the material so that I could re-engrave a second time. So I went back with the power of 900 and a speed of 70. And after this second time, I thought it looked really good. Now, I think I showed you the packaging in the intro of the video, but if not, this is what it looks like for the cork tiles. I got these at Walmart, I am pretty sure. And then here's the paper mask that I used. I got this off of Amazon. I'll put a link to it. Now you might have seen the first time that I did this, I really wasn't very impressed or happy with the darkness of the engrave. So I went ahead and ran it through a second time. I increased the power and I increased the speed, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but I will put it in a subtitle. So you should see that popping up by now. And it looked like the only place I was really upset about with some burn marks was right there. So I'm just using some good old-fashioned rubbing alcohol. This is 90%. And seeing if that won't come off. And it looks like it did. Okay, so these coasters, they're cut through, but sometimes this type of material has the very bottom that you kind of have to pop out. So I just pop downward. And it comes out fine. Now the other thing is I need to get a little bit more of this paper off, and then I'm done. So here's my 2 little coasters for my coasters. And on the table, the side table, whatever, she'll just set the hard surfaced one on top of this. That way if any liquid runs over, it's going to stay on this instead of messing up your table. All right, now touching the outside of this gets my hand really dirty, so I apologize for that. But look at how cute that is. I love how that turned out. And I love the functionality of these coasters. So if I didn't tell you before, I really do appreciate you being here. And until my next video, bye-bye.